Hi, my name is Jason Bullard. I'm from White Line Creations, and this is my twin-engine Yamaha Trike 2-long. Alright, well, back in 1972 there was a guy named Ron Ebert that built a similar trike. He used two Kawasaki 500 engines, the chain drive, but the whole thing was built just for show. There was nothing functional about it, and that always bugged me. I loved what he did, but it needed to run. So I spent years talking to him. Found him online, called him. He sent me a ton of pictures from what he had built, and we discussed for years on how to actually make it functional. And I finally did. I couldn't deal with the idea of building a bike that was strictly for show and you could never ride it. There was no point to me. When I first started laying this thing out, all I had were two wheels and a lawnmower seat sitting on the ground. I had the front wheel later. Didn't know how long I wanted it to be, so I just started moving stuff and putting it kind of where I wanted it until ultimately it ended up at the dimensions that it's at. Then I started designing the frame around those 3 points. Built the fork. It's 26 over. It's based off of an old SB&F girder, but I wanted a wide girder instead of a narrow one, so it's 8 inches wide. Laid out the frame all by hand. I did some modeling first in SolidWorks to make sure that everything was going to fit where it was going to go. But then just piece by piece, it was all hand fit together, all hand cut. Did all the welding myself, all of the forming. Building the frame itself took me about 6 weeks. The entire project took 8 months to build from start to finish. About 6 weeks for just the frame, getting the engines laid out. After that, it was figuring out how to make everything connect, putting in the chains, the differential, the center transmission, figuring out the placement of the radiators definitely took some work, because they've got to be tilted back, but they still have to be able to breathe too. My original concept for this was to use the CB750 inline 4 single overhead cam engines, but I didn't like the idea that they were chain drive to begin with. It conflicted with the rear end, and they ultimately didn't have enough power. So I went through a couple of different concepts using the GS850 and the XS850, so shaft drives, but it was important to me that both of the engines looked symmetrical. One reason why I never went with Sportsters. Having the exhaust running out of the front and the rear definitely helped as far as the symmetry. The shaft drive was perfect for it, and once you get these engines out of the original bike, they're a gorgeous engine. They should never have been hidden in the first place. Got rid of the 4 carburetors per engine and made intakes for this to run Volkswagen Pick 34 carbs. Made my own intakes for it. All of the water lines had to be custom designed. They're all stainless, just to keep rust out. Uses the original radiators. Okay. Alright, so there's very little on this bike that I didn't actually make. I designed the shifters, I designed the transmission, I sent them out to be machined. But other than that, everything about this bike I physically built. Did paint myself. It's not perfect, but I love it. It's all metal flake, pinstriping, classic 70s sunrises and scalloping, heavy lace work. That was definitely a fun job. Painted it in the middle of November in freezing cold. Built a small greenhouse in my shop and heated that and put it inside of it because I don't have heat in my shop. A lot of paint jobs, when they're done by custom builders, they'll go through and they'll sign their name to it or paint their emblem into it. I didn't want that. I wanted something a little bit different. So I had my friend John Whitmore over at Johnny Lid's Customs. He custom fabricated a WLC emblem that is actually Frenched into the back of the body and is backlit in red LEDs. And he also made, by custom order, the shifter knob for the reverse lever. Red metal flake, copper in the skull. Did a really, really good job at it. Polished them all out. Does really good work. Alright, so the rear end of this is actually entirely stock, straight out of a 1986 Jaguar XJS convertible. It features 4 struts, independent rear suspension, and dual inboard disc brakes. They will definitely stop this thing. The differential itself is a Dana 44 base, and it's geared down to 410. It has almost the widest tires on it that you can buy. They're 18.5 inches wide, 32 inches tall, 15-inch by 15-inch rims. Mickey Thompson on the rim and the tire itself. When I first designed this thing, I wanted the tires to be the tallest portion of this vehicle. Ultimately, I came close to it. I like the carburetors the way they were. So one of the things that a lot of people ask me is, how does it actually function? How do you shift it? How do you use the clutch? All of this. So I designed it to shift both engines at the same time. They utilize the original transmissions. Those go into an intermediary that combines them and spits out to the Jaguar differential. But the shifter is a split design, because if you've ever misshift on a bike, it's not really a big deal, but when you're running 2 engines, you need to be able to correct it. So the split shifter allows me to correct whichever engine actually missed the shift, if it does. Hasn't yet, but I needed to keep that in mind. Hydraulic brakes, hydraulic clutch that works both clutches at the same time. All of that, the inner workings are inside the front housing here. It does have an electric reverse, manual lever, and an electric push button on the handlebars. And both engines start independently from each other. You have to start the left engine, then start the right engine. Charging system is only built into the right engine though. The left one has nothing in it for that. So this isn't actually a gas tank. It's completely hollow. The master cylinders for both the clutch and the brake are built inside of this, and both of the computers that run each of the engines. All of the gauges, basically everything that makes this thing work is inside this front loop. So every time I take this to a show, I get asked 3 questions every single time. First is, did you build it? Yes, I built just about every last piece on this. All hand formed, all steel, no fiberglass. Did all of the welding, all of the paint. Everything about this was me at White Line. Next, they want to know, does it even run? Of course it runs. It's loud as hell, fast as hell. Which leads to the last question, is how fast have I had it? And honestly, I don't know. Speedometer's down between my legs. I am not looking down at that. I'm worried about the trees in front of me.